Have you ever bought a lottery ticket and secretly imagined how your life would change if you won? Maybe you pictured paying off all of your debt. Maybe you imagined quitting the job that drains you. Maybe you saw yourself helping your family or traveling the world or finally feeling safe with money. And for a moment, oh, it felt real. Your body relaxed a little, your mind opened up to possibilities. You let yourself imagine a life where financial pressure wasn't constantly sitting on your shoulders. And then the numbers were announced, and you didn't win. Now, most people brush this moment off. They say something like, oh, well, it was only a few dollars, or the chances were small anyway. But today, I want to talk about something that almost no one discusses. Maybe not winning the lottery can bring up deeper emotions around money. And if you're someone who is spiritually curious, trauma aware, and working on healing your relationship with money, that moment can reveal something important. Now, when you buy a lottery ticket, you're not just buying a chance at money. Very often, you're buying a moment of hope. For a few hours or a few days, your nervous system gets to imagine a life where the pressure disappears, a life where bills aren't looming, a life where you don't have to constantly calculate every decision around money, a life where survival mode finally turns off. Now, that temporary feeling of relief, it can be surprisingly powerful. Your brain starts to visualize safety, freedom, possibility. For a little while, your mind gets to step into a different version of reality. And that experience matters more than most people realize. So when the numbers come out and you didn't win, something subtle can happen inside. The feeling of possibility collapses, the dream disappears, and sometimes a quiet thought shows up in the background. Why does financial freedom always feel just out of reach? Now, for people who have experienced financial stress growing up or instability or long cycles of scarcity, this moment can lightly touch an old wound. You might notice thoughts like, money never really works out for me, or other people get lucky. I'll probably always struggle. Now, these thoughts don't mean you're negative. They do not mean you lack faith, and they definitely don't mean you're doing personal growth wrong. Very often, these thoughts are simply old money stories that your nervous system learned over time. These money stories often form early in life. They form through experiences and they form through what we watch adults around us go through. They form through moments when money brought us stress, fear, or conflict. So your nervous system remembers these moments. And sometimes a small moment like not winning the lottery can briefly activate them. So instead of judging that reaction, there is a much more compassionate approach. Pause and get curious. Ask yourself a simple question. What did winning the lottery represent for me? Was it freedom, security, peace of mind? Was it the feeling of finally getting ahead after years of effort? Maybe it represented rest. Maybe it represented finally feeling supported by life. Maybe it represented the idea that things could actually get easier. So when you look at it this way, something important becomes clear. The lottery ticket wasn't just about money. It was a symbol for a deeper dream, a symbol for the life your nervous system is longing to experience. And when you realize this, the story begins to shift because the lottery ticket was never actually the source of that dream. It was simply one possible doorway. So your mind briefly touched the idea of safety and abundance. And that moment of imagining something better is valuable. It tells you something about what your heart is ready for. There's also an important shift that happens when we begin healing money trauma. We move from chance based hope, like the lottery, to self trusting possibility. When abundance only comes through luck, the nervous system stays in a place of powerlessness. It starts to believe that financial freedom depends on random events. But when abundance comes through growth, through awareness, through aligned opportunities, through creativity, and through learning, the story becomes much bigger than a set of numbers. So instead of asking, why didn't I win the lottery? A more empowering question appears. What kind of life am I trying to truly create? Maybe the answer is a life with less stress. Maybe it's a life with more time. Maybe it's the freedom to choose work that feels meaningful. Maybe it's the ability to support people you love. When you identify that deeper vision, something powerful happens. You realize there are many paths that can lead to that life, not just one lucky moment. Now, there's another layer to this conversation that people really talk about. Sudden wealth can actually be destabilizing for a nervous system that has only known scarcity. So, if the body has spent years in financial survival mode, a huge shift in money can feel overwhelming. So, people who receive sudden financial windfalls, they also experience anxiety, stress, or difficulty adjusting. Not because they did something wrong, but because their nervous system hasn't had time to adapt to holding that level of abundance. So, this is one of the reasons why healing your relationship with money before massive financial changes can be so powerful. It means that learning how to feel safe with money, learning how to make grounded decisions, and learning how to receive and hold resources without fear. It means gradually releasing beliefs like money always disappears, money causes problems, and I'm not good with money. As those beliefs begin to soften, something new becomes possible. You're not just hoping abundance arrives, you're becoming someone who can receive it, manage it, and sustain it. And that inner shift, it matters far more than any lottery ticket ever could. So if you've ever felt a strange sadness after checking lottery tickets, you're not alone. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not being irrational. You're just being human. Your nervous system briefly tasted the idea of freedom. Now the deeper journey is learning how to build that sense of freedom from the inside out. So, true abundance isn't just about a sudden windfall. It's about becoming the kind of person who can create and welcome and sustain prosperity in ways that really support your life and your well being. And that's a journey that unfolds step by step. So, take a moment today to reflect on your own money story, not the story about luck, but the story of healing, awareness, and possibility that you're writing from this point forward. Because your financial future, it isn't determined by the lottery. It's shaped by the beliefs you release, the skills you build, and the relationship with money you cultivate over time. So thank you for being here with me. If this video resonated, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my Trauma Informed Wealth and Abundance channel. So until next time, stay magical and may the wealth flow to you.